3, 2.
Well, I guess it's time I come clean. There's someone I need you to meet. I can feel the anxiety building up in my throat right this second, and if you haven't noticed, my hands are trembling. I think you've seen her before in life, but this formal introduction will put things into perspective for both you and me. She's my best friend and my worst enemy. The problem is I haven't figured out how to exist without her. Her name is Insecurity. She's been dying to meet you. Oh, I know you'll get a chance to get to know her. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up, a warning, if you want to call it that. Insecurity will take you on a hell of a ride. She's a bit of a demon, if you might say. She always finds ways for me to take the more scenic route to my destination. Sometimes I get so caught up that I forget where I'm going, but she has always been there for me. The days where I've had nothing and I was at my lowest rung, she was there. And the times I felt my best and I was on top of the world, she was there. We've been together for so long, I patiently wait for her to show up when she's not around. Insecurity and I met when we were in high school? Yeah, sometime during freshman year, I think. Anyway, before then, I knew her name and she knew mine. We'd seen each other before in life, but had never officially been introduced. Well, we got to know each other through various events at school. There were the cheerleading tryouts and lunchtime conversations about who didn't have a date for the prom, so on and so forth. She was always around and we seemed to have a lot in common that soon we became inseparable. Insecurity and I, we went everywhere together. We talked about our outfits while getting dressed in the morning for school. We did our hair together. We studied together. We even tried out and made the volleyball team together. Oh, all the while my bond with my best friend grew stronger. We became so close. She was almost like a sister to me. I loved her. I adored her. Her friendship meant everything. At times, I almost needed her validation or approval before I made big decisions, and then with more time before I made any decisions at all. She was my closest confidant for years, until I met him. You see, right off top, my girls, especially Insecurity, had a million little concerns about him. Perhaps there was something written across his forehead that I just couldn't see. How valid they were, I'm not really sure. And with time, he began to prove them wrong. Plus, I liked him. But while I was getting all caught up in the whirlwind of his essence, I started to notice a gradual change in my life, especially my friendships. It would start off with a comment from them here and there, and then a general discomfort every time he was around. Eventually, the air became so thick I had no choice but to address it, for fear that my friendships would choke to death on that silent disapproval, turned jealousy, turned malicious intent. But when I confronted Insecurity about what was happening, things turned ugly real quick. She said that this love between he and I didn't exist, that I was living in a fantasy, and what I wanted only happened in the movies. She promised me that if I threw all caution to the wind and let him in, that she wouldn't stick around to see the outcome. But I kept thinking to myself, if I don't take this chance on love that I've been given, would I see it again? I wanted to explore the opportunity with him. I wanted out of my comfort zone and into my fantasy. A simple chance at exploration. How would I do this without her? With that, she and I were broken. What once was wonderful, it became a memory. You know, habits change and new experiences form our future. I made the conscious decision to choose him instead of her, and I have to be honest, the choice was quite refreshing. When she was gone, I was limitless and uninhibited. My boundaries and fears, that prison of self-doubt continuously reinforced by her, it was non-existent. Even the word friendship took on a brand new significance because I had found a new friend in him. From that moment on, he became everything I needed. Where he and I go from here, I'm not really certain, but I know one thing for sure. There's no room for insecurity in my relationship.